Black water. Someone is pounding the glass. A toy flies out of the dark. One hand grabs your wrist and your light dies. Sirens are screaming as more vehicles slide off the collapsed interstate bridge into the river. You clip on your BCD while sprinting through the rain. No time for a pre-dive check. Your dive team commander radios dispatch. At least 6 vehicles are down, visibility near zero. On the embankment, a kid is screaming through the siren noise, pointing straight down into the water. You jump, and the current slams you sideways, dragging you down like dead weight. Another SUV hits the water beside you. You roll away from the shockwave just in time. Your light finds a flipped transit bus on the riverbed. Massive, already sliding slowly deeper. Faces press against the windows, fists pounding from the inside with no sound reaching you. A concrete chunk shifts and pins your left foot against the riverbed. The boot armor crunches. You wrench your foot free and leave a chunk of your fin locked under the concrete slab. The bus begins its final slide. You have seconds before it drops beyond any reach. You cut diagonally across the current, burning through every muscle just to close the gap. You smash the bus window. Water floods in and passengers surge toward you in blind panic. A woman locks both hands around your neck. The grip spins you completely off your axis. Someone rips your mask off. You nearly inhale river water before you snatch it back. You force your spare regulator toward the nearest woman. She spits it out in blind terror. Second attempt, you hold her head steady, press the regulator in, and she finally breathes. A man is pinned under a collapsed seat with the water already rising past his chin. You drag the first survivor through the broken window. The bus lurches hard to one side. Your dive partner clips a lift bag to the survivor and sends them rising toward the surface. Your primary light starts strobing from a saltwater short circuit. Then it dies completely. Your SPG spikes wildly. You no longer know how much air you actually have left. Your comm link to the surface cuts out. Static where your team's voice used to be. Your tether line snaps. You are no longer connected to the exit. 0 references left. In total darkness, something brushes your leg. You jerk, and your tank snags a cable. You draw your dive knife and cut the cable. Your fingers going numb from the cold. Your dive partner tugs the safety line twice from outside. You read the signal, find direction. You switch to your pony bottle. 4 minutes of air left at the absolute maximum. The upstream floodgates open. The current doubles its force in under 3 seconds flat. The surge flips the bus again, and you slam shoulder first into a concrete bridge support. Silt and debris explode through the water column. Visibility drops down to absolute 0. The river is so cold that every exhale fogs your mask with a layer of ice crystals. You work completely blind now, running both hands along the bus frame to find the next window. Your partner's light punches weakly through the murk outside, a faint but usable reference point. The current spins the entire wreckage, and you lose all sense of up, down, and direction. Your fingers find a corroded porthole in the hull, rusted shut, but a possible secondary exit. Your dive team commander orders an immediate abort. The structure is about to give way entirely. You are almost at the surface. Then a dull, rhythmic knock rises from under the bus. A sedan is pinned underneath, a woman and an infant inside, the baby no longer moving. You drive a pry bar into the door frame and strike 3 times. Nothing gives way. You lose 30 seconds calming the woman enough to work. 30 seconds you will not recover. 4th strike pops the door, but the current starts pulling the sedan into a forming vortex. New plan? Out through the window. You punch your elbow through the glass, edges razor sharp. Your dive partner hears the impact and arrives, bracing the sedan against the pull of current. Your foot snags a seatbelt loop. The vortex starts pulling both you and the car down. You cut the belt, and the current tears the infant straight from the woman's arms. You catch the child's jacket with one hand and hold on while the current fights you hard. Your pony bottle gauge slams red. Under 2 minutes of air left on the clock. Decision. You send the infant up with your partner and dive straight back down for the woman. The woman twists away in panic. You lock your grip on her wrist and pull hard. Your vision starts closing in at the edges, your body flagging the early onset of hypoxia. You drive the woman toward the surface and hold her steady until your partner's line reaches you. Another vehicle hits the water above you. The shockwave throws you hard into the bridge structure. The bus wreckage begins folding, metal groaning and warping in the dark river water around you. Your tank catches on a rebar spike. You cannot move forward and cannot move back. Critical call. You unbuckle the tank. A few seconds on a breath hold is all you have. Without the tank, you squeeze through the wreckage. The rebar shreds your dry suit wide open. Your dive partner grabs your arm and pulls you clear of the collapsing frame from outside. You both kick hard for the surface. Behind you, the entire structure implodes in white foam. You surface and grab the rescue boat gunnel and hear screaming from the embankment. A paramedic wraps you in a thermal blanket and checks your lacerations at the same time. A Second County Sheriff dive team enters the water and switches on powerful underwater searchlights. A crane lifts the bus wreck, and another crushed vehicle appears on the riverbed beneath it. Hazard lights are blinking inside that car, and someone on the back seat is still moving. Command radios for a decompression chamber on standby. 2 divers are showing barotrauma signs. You swap tanks with shaking hands. Your partner locks the valve because your grip is gone. The first survivor signals from the bank. 2 in his boat. The second is still missing. You look at the searchlights burning under the water and go back down without being ordered. On the embankment, EMTs run CPR on the infant. 7 minutes of silent, precise, relentless work. You hear the baby's first cry from underwater, and you keep pushing deeper regardless. The second diver finds the missing man on the riverbed, tangled in a net completely still. He cuts through the net and starts ascending, 30 feet up, with the man in tow. On deck, the paramedic starts resuscitation immediately. A pulse comes back after 7 long minutes. In the last car, an elderly man holds a dog. It bites clean through your glove. You fit the man with your spare regulator while the second team cuts his roof from outside. A Coast Guard MH-60 Jayhawk lifts all casualties. The riverbank becomes a full field hospital. Back at the staging area, you stare at your gear: torn dry suit, shattered light, missing tank. The dive team commander reads the incident log aloud. Every call documented, every second accounted for. They send you to the decompression chamber. Through the porthole, your partner gives a slow nod. The local news calls it a miracle rescue. You stare at your blue fingernails, say nothing. You close your eyes, and the same cold darkness returns. Black water, silence, zero visibility. Shift closed, report signed, gear on the drying rack. A coffee cup sits untouched on the table. Here is what the NTSB investigation found. The bridge failed because a truck lost its brakes. The fishing net trapping the second survivor had slowed blood loss from his deep leg wound. What looked like a deadly trap was the only reason he survived long enough for you. This shift was not a rescue. It was a chain of split-second calls in total darkness. You went where everyone ran from and gave your air to someone who just fought you. Rescue divers do not control situations. They hold them back from collapse, breath by breath. In this line of work, one truth holds above everything else. Underwater, time always drowns first. Not everyone can do this. Some people go where others simply run out of air to breathe. Today's shift is done. Tomorrow brings a different world, a different risk, a different person. Like, subscribe, stay with us. Insider Shift, one shift at a time.